Welcome to this track guide for the Donington Park National Circuit in the iRacing Formula 3 Fixed Setup Series. We're going to start with a quick guide on lap 1 before going into a bit more detail on lap 2. So it's very key to get a good exit out of the final chicane onto the medium length start-finish straight, and then it's an obvious gradual move over to the left before we take turn 1. We're going to use a lot of the pit exit, and we're going to turn in just at the end of the pit exit using a bit of curb on both sides at the apex and at the exit. We then go full throttle all the way down the hill through the craner curves, really taking the shortest possible distance, little nibble of the curb there before we just touch the brakes and turn in early into Old Hairpin at the bottom here. We're then taking a short distance up the hill here, cutting the inside curve there and moving the car over to the left, ready for a little bit of a break before we go over the crest of the hill here. Early back on the throttle, I go a bit wide, don't lose any time thankfully on this lap, and then it's another dab of the brakes, early turn in, use the curb, and you can either get to full throttle straight away, run a little bit wide but carry that speed, or you could alternatively just stay off the gas slightly longer before you get back on the power and keep a slightly tighter line. We then brake for the final corner and turn in pretty early, keeping it accurate between those red sausage curbs, out on the exit curb, and it's a straight line across the start-finish line. So now on to lap 2, where we'll cover the circuit in a little bit more detail. So it goes without saying, but it's crucial to get a good exit out of the final corner, so we have nice speed across the start-finish line. And now you're going to see from this angle, we're really using loads of the pit exit here. And we're turning in at the end of the pit exit, so just where the grass begins. And then you really need to use a lot of curb at turn 1. That allows you to get back on the power early, obviously using all the track on the exit, and then you're just picking the shortest possible distance here. It's all easily full throttle down this hill, so there's no point going any further than you need to. You need to really widen the track at this point, so we're starting to brake and we're going to turn on the curb and use lots of curb on the inside as well. Careful not to run into the dirt on the exit there. Really cut this one as well, just shorten the track at this point as you go up the hill. We're going to pull the car all the way over to the left. You're going to see the braking and the turning happens kind of at the same time here. A little bit of brake, very early turn, so you can use the curb on the inside. Now, I run wide here, and fortunately, I don't lose very much time. I'm early on the throttle. You can see the rear tyres get on the dust. Ideally, you'd be a little bit further to the right, but we have just enough traction that the car powers up the hill with no problem. Now here, we're starting to brake early, turning early. Now, you could get on the power very early at this point and run slightly wide like I do. Or you could stay off the throttle for slightly longer, take a shorter distance, and obviously have slightly less throttle early on. They both kind of even out to the same. I chose the early power. Now here we're braking early. There's no turn-in marker, so you just have to pick it as best you can so you can get really close to the red sausage curbs. You can see we trailed the brakes there up to the first apex, and it absolutely full throttle by the time you're in the middle of the chicane. And that is the lap guide for Donington Park National Circuit. Good luck racing this week, and I'll see you next week for the next circuit.